Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Peter Akunlabi, Assistant Professor of Agricultural Systems Technology at Arkansas State University, College of Agriculture, Engineering and Technology. In this video, I would like to introduce my software application, RGB2X, to you. I created this program to extract RGB data from any image file of any format and make that data available in Microsoft Excel. Once the data is in Excel, we can now use a number of image processing operations to manipulate the data and visualize both the raw data and the processed data using different charts that are available in Excel. Now let's get started. Once you have the application installed on your computer, you can open it using a number of common methods for opening a program. First, from the Start menu, you can open it by clicking on All Programs. And all programs, here you have a list of icons and then folders. Look for the software, the icon for this RGB2X in this list. Here it is, and just click on it and then it will start the program. So we wait for it to start. So this is one method of opening a program. Here is a program. I'm going to close it and show you the other method, which you should be familiar with this because I mean it's the common methods that we use for any program. Here is the icon on the desktop, the shortcut icon on this RGB2X, and here you would either double click it to open it, or you click it once and then hit the enter button on your screen, on your keyboard, and that should open it. All right, so that is it for opening the program, and soon we will have it running and we can continue. Okay, so now we have the program running, and this is the interface. It's a very simple program. Basically, it has two buttons. Here is the Select Files button. This button is used to select the files to extract the RGB data from. We would see in a minute. It can allow you to select multiple files, so to give an option to select either a single file or multiple files, which you can select as many as you want. And then here is the export button that would once you have selected the image files that you want to extract your data from, and this button will become active. Currently it is inactive. When you start the program, it is inactive. It becomes active after you have completed your selection, and then you click on that to complete the data extract and export into Microsoft Excel. What it does is that it's going to provide you Excel files that have the same name as the original image files, and then that also has the RGB data. Remember, R stands for red, and that is data from the red band of the electromagnetic spectrum. G stands for green, which is data from the green band, and B stands for blue, that is data from the blue band. And the RGB data is a multispectral data because it consists of data from 3 different, there's multiple bands. So we'll be working with this data. Before we actually get into it, let me show you this folder. So this is a folder we would be using for our test, and let me reduce the size so we can see it clearly. So here is the software interface, and we'll be working with this data here. There are 5 images here that we want to work with. So let's get started. We want to extract the RGB data from these 5 images. So from the on the interface in the program, you would click on select files, and then this opens a dialog box. This dialog box asks you how many files are you going to export. You can either choose a single file if you're going to work with a single file, or if you have multiple files like we do. In this case, you would also click on multiple files. And so the select files to open dialog box opens for you to make your selection. And so this is on the desktop, so we'll go straight to the desktop. Okay, and on the desktop we have image processing. All right, so here are all the 5. You can select them individually, or you can also select everything together. Okay, or you can click on this, and keeping the shift down, you click on this and have all selected. So with everything selected, then we are satisfied. Click open. We wait for it to load, and then the export button becomes active once it's loaded. So when it's active, the writing is black rather than gray in the first instance. So then you click on export the RGB image data to Microsoft Excel, and watch what happens here. You see it's creating the data set in Excel and adding file after file after file until all the files, Excel files corresponding to these images have been created. So it runs through. We have 4 files created now, and we are waiting for the last file to be created. Okay, once this is complete, it says operation completed. That signals you that the extraction is complete. We click OK, and now we go to the folder. So at this stage, we are done with RGB2X software. All it does, it extracts the data from the image file to Excel. So you have the data available. Let's open to see what is in the data. All right, let's maximize it. Okay, so the first sheet here, first worksheet here is blank, and this is the default Excel sheet that gets created when you open a new Excel file. Okay, what the software has done is that it has added on this RGB and UC data. Now, what are these? The R is the data from the red band, and you can see all these numbers. It goes all the way to so IV, and then how many rows? It goes up to 180, 182. I think it's about 250 by 192, or 250, yeah, about 255 by 12 by 192 rows. Okay, so watch the difference. This is R. We start with 103. This is green. It's 134, and all the values are different. And you have blue with also with how do you call it, different numbers, and these are the pixel values. Each cell represents a pixel value, and between the red A1 in the red band corresponds to, that is a pixel value for the location, the spatial point, or the spatial location. Is this the pixel value A1 corresponds to A1 in the green, and that corresponds to A1 in the blue data. Now this data is two-dimensional, which is a spatial data. Each dimension represents, this is the rows represent the columns represent the what do you call it, let's call it the X direction, and the rows represent the Y direction. So when you look at the UC data, you see it's 3 columns. Each of these columns represent the R, G, and B. So A column represents R. That is the two-dimensional data that has been what do you call it, collapsed into one-dimensional, and each of the values here corresponds. You remember when we looked at the R, we had 103, blue, B we had G we had 134, and B we have 65. So it's corresponding the corresponding pixel value for each of the points. So here we have 0, 0, 0. In actual fact, we want to better represent the 0 is just by default what comes there, and we'll change this to R, G, and B data. All right. So that is it for opening the, extracting the RGB data from the Excel, from the image file to Microsoft Excel, and we extracted this from a JPEG image. These are JPEG images. You can also extract it from PNG or any other format of image file. So at this point, I think we this should brings us to the end of this demonstration. In this video we have introduced ourselves to the RGB2X software application. We looked at how to start the program from the start menu and also from the desktop, and then we have also we use this to extract RGB image data from 5 image files, and we have looked at what all of these files represent, all of these data in the worksheets represent. So in the next video we will talk about how to visualize the data once you have it in Excel, how to visualize the data, and then how to also do a couple of operations on the data just to better enhance the data that you are looking at. Thank you very much, and keep in touch with the other videos that I would be posting here.